Welcome to Slamfire Radio, episode 606, recording live on May 21st, 2025. I am one of your hosts, Dustin.
I am really out of town, Tony.
And I'm just normal Adriel.
No.
Normal.
I mean,
more tanned. A little bit more tanned.
Tanned. Oh, yeah. I guess you do have a little bit of complexion.
Slightly. Yeah, a little bit more.
That's more than I ever get, so that's good. Okay, well, I mean, moving right into it, I guess, should we talk about what we did in guns this week?
Probably.
Yeah. All right, well, let me start for a minute, just because I didn't do a whole bunch, but I did get to do something that was kind of interesting. For one, I did go shooting with one of my roommates, which was fun. Always a good time to just go, blast away a little bit. Life's been stressful, and turning some money into noise, especially at the steel range, is always very satisfying for folks. So took one of my roommates that doesn't have a gun license, and they had a good time. Usually do. Other than that, the one other interesting thing I did in guns this week, I adjusted and resubmitted my ATF 6 NIA form. The ATF are way nicer than the Canadian Firearms Program, the CFP. They got in touch with me because I submitted my form a few weeks ago because I'm going to be going to the States this summer, and I was hoping to bring some guns with me. It's the first time I've submitted that form this decade, which is a weird thing to say. It hasn't been submitted since we rolled over into the 20s, which is funny because before all of our laws changed and a lot of the Washington laws changed, I used to travel with guns down there all the time. And it was absolutely great. You technically don't need a hunting license. It's just Canadians fit in this weird thing. So when you fill out the application, there's are you entering with a visa, or and then if you are entering with a visa, you also require either a shooting competition or a valid hunting license. It's just part of it to go along with the 6 NIA. Canadians are exempt from that for the most part, but I just got a varmint license in Washington. And then they were cool with whatever, oh yeah, of course you'd want to bring a handgun with you while you're hunting. So I'd bring guns down, visit my friends all the time. It was actually why I bought the particular AR-15 that I had, was 16-inch barrel, because obviously the US has barrel length restrictions and stuff. But I'm yammering. The point being, Washington changed a whole bunch of laws. My concealed carry permit was no longer valid in Washington. I had one for Washington that was no longer valid. There was a loophole I was using to get that. And then they changed more laws, and a lot of the fun guns couldn't travel. And then all of our stuff changed dramatically, and I got really sketchy about taking guns out of the country for a while. And it was just it's too much hassle. But because we're going to be on quite a long trip, and I'm going to be visiting Kyle too, and I would love to bring some of my guns with me. I also think the entertainment value of shooting some of my handguns in the desert where no one's going to get harmed, just anecdotally, seems fun and worth doing. So I'm going through that whole process. Submitted my 6 NIA form 2-3 weeks ago now, I think. Anyways, the ATF got back to me this week at the beginning of the week, and just sent me an email because I didn't put any ammo on my form. So basically, the form, it's 4 pages long, and it gives you one field for a gun, one field for ammo, and then a little box to check for C attached, where there's another list of 10 of each. And I put about 8 guns, I think, altogether on that list. I'm not going to bring 8 guns now, but I'm going to utilize this again, go visit friends in Washington and shoot guns. So I just put pretty much anything that was still Washington legal on there. But I didn't put any ammunition because I was I'll just, pick up ammo when I'm there. I'm not really planning on flying with ammo for this trip. But they got in touch with me. They're hey, everything looks good, but you didn't put any ammo on this. Do you want to adjust this before we put it through the works? And I was maybe that's not a bad idea. So yeah, I ran downstairs, took a whole bunch of pictures of some different ammos that I might want to travel with for the different guns that I'm thinking about. So I put a 308 on there, my 45-70, half dozen handguns and a couple of shotguns. and then just like equivalent ammo for all of those. And sent it back, and they were really, really friendly and nice. And I'm hopeful in a couple of weeks to see the official form, and then I can like get kind of prepared for that. So yeah, that was just like fun, and I don't know, anecdotally different than dealing with the CFP. The CFP is always like, well, you figure it out, or screw you. And if you send something in wrong, we will contact you via snail mail. Whereas the ATF, like this document, the last time I sent it in back in like 2019, I think I had to fax it. But they happily happily took an email copy, which was great. And yeah, the lady I talked to on the phone was super nice and friendly, and just like, I don't know, fundamentally different experience than dealing with the CFP. So I thought that was kind of cool. Yeah, that's all I've done that's super exciting. I've got to clean some guns again. I'm going to do probably this weekend. But it's, yeah, we've got a barbecue party going on. So after that, I'll probably clean some guns. What about you, Tony? I think you've got a couple of things on the list here. What did you do with guns this week?
Surprisingly, I did do some shooting over a long weekend. I shot an over speed. I smoked my hand on it. There was this, I can't show it because I'm traveling, obviously, but the shotgun come with a flip up iron sight. So you have this two peaks to host the iron sight. So I smoked my hand on it, and I'm not going to show it, but it's like here-ish. It was pretty comfortable on the cheek. You have the soft cheek comb thing from Benelli on it. I do have chambering issues with it. I don't know if I'm short stroking. I don't think I am. Like every time I would see the shell fly out, but the new one wouldn't go in. Sometimes if I like slow down and inspect it, you'll see the front of the shell is slightly deformed. So when that happens, you really don't have a ton of options. You can choose to eject a live round. Then you're really short stroking, and so you don't have one round on the lifter. So you closed it, and then you open. Now you have an empty chamber. You shoot it. It's not going to fire. You open it again. The second round with chamber. I was shooting Real Evil Star Team target loads. So it's not very fancy stuff. But on the same squad, our match director was shooting a different Nova speed, and he doesn't have that problem. So Kyle isn't on here today. I might need a shotgun master to take a look at it. I don't know if there's options to open up it's not even a forcing cone at that point, the feed cone maybe, and maybe they'll fix it. I don't know.
What kind of shotgun shells were you using?
2 3/4.
What brand?
Real, and I have a mix of Challenger too. So
I've had that problem with Challenger with some shotguns. It might be back at the back. It's not the forcing cone. You're talking like the back of the chamber. It's too sharp.
The back of the chamber, yeah.
The shells, yeah. It's not aligning them properly. So your alignment is there's not really much to do there. Your claw, if it's not hanging onto it correctly, might not guide them in there, or the alignment, I guess, with the lifter could be off. Like that's another possibility.
Maybe I over drilled it, and after that, I don't know.
No,
we'll see. You'll see it.
Can't be because
you'll see it at the match. So
you're talking about feeding, right?
Correct, feeding.
So if it, like you're talking about the magazine tube and the port from the bottom, nothing to do with it. Nothing to do with feeding. It has to be something in that feed path. The claw tension or the lifter alignment, or I mean, maybe the chamber's too sharp or something. I don't know.
Well, we'll see. You'll see it at the match. So
yep,
that's all good. I showed a picture on Discord. It was sunshine and raining at the same time. It was really a bad time in Calgary. So I didn't shoot. I had my 303 ammo arrive. So I was like, I'm going to shoot a 5-round group, iron sights, 25 yards, with the number 4 Mark 1 star, but because it's raining so badly, it's like, I need to fly out on Tuesday. So I'm just not going to bother detail cleanup because I really don't want it to rust. So I didn't shoot that, but I did transfer my 6 MOA Vortex Defender CCW from my SXP shotgun onto my Savage 822. So I'm going to shoot the Rimfire Madness with that.
Cool.
I have a Steel Challenge match coming up, so I'll be able to function test it as well. So that should be all good. That's all I did for shooting this week.
Wow. I mean, that's still more than
It was a decent range day. There was a
Hmm.
match, and then I stayed afterwards to, zero some guns, but it was raining. So
I'm so sad I missed my match day. What about you, Adriel? What'd you get up to in guns this week?
A couple of things. Over the long weekend there, did some camping, did an RPAL, and did a bit of shooting, all separate. Yeah, just got some cousins and family members out shooting and had a good time. Got a bunch of little kids out, got them going on some 22s, like really little kids. And one of them was like, "Oh, we're shooting the shotgun." I'm like, "Okay." I got 2 loads here. I got this target load, and I got this other one it's not a target load. It's very heavy. It's like, "I want the heavy one." All right.
Oh, I always avoided that heavy load when I was young.
Yeah, it was funny watching them go kaboom and then get kicked right back. Hey, Kyle, how's it going? Kyle?
Well,
Maybe he's still his mic.
all good.
Let's see. And then I got a couple things in today. They are for a friend of the show, Tommy. He's kind of like outside of civilization, so he needs a place to mail this stuff. So I just ordered it, and there's a Discovery 416 by 44.
Oh,
and it comes with a little
nice. Yeah, the
here and all that kind of stuff. I really like the focus ring on it. It's really wide. Let me just add some light here to the situation. There we go.
Oh, thank you.
There's the focus ring, and it's bigger than the illumination ring. It's quite big, and that makes it easy to turn accurately.
I like that, actually. That looks really nice.
Your standard like flip up cap on the end here. I don't like this. It's got a pull off cap.
At least it's not a screw out. I have one that's like a screw off back cap.
Yeah. What? The screws are brilliant. You can't lose them.
Sure you can.
Sure you can.
You can't lose this one. Look.
Yeah, that's attached. You can't lose that.
But you don't lose it. This one you break off.
Yeah.
You flip it up and you put your rifle on the side and it snaps it right off, right?
True. I like the ones. I like the flip up ones that like are a sleeve that just slip over, right? The ones that you can take off. Like those are the best.
Throw them out.
Yeah.
Throw them out. I like
just throw them away.
Take them, throw them in the garbage. Yep. I do like the locking turret. So you pull up, turn it over, push it down.
Oh, that is the best. Style. Yes, that is. Yeah, nothing gets bumped in transit or anything.
And what is the price?
I forget.
Yeah, ballpark? Like
400, I want to say somewhere around there.
That's not bad.
This print looks terrible, but who cares? It's a box, right?
You know what? That's still nicer than so many boxes. I'll take a black and blue box that somebody tried like 5% more than a brown box with like a basic logo printed on it.
Is there a hockey?
Use a proper
right
font.
now, John says.
Oh no! Are we gonna lose Adriel's attention to another hockey game?
You might get half my attention. And then here, just a second. I'll look up the price that scope was. I think it was fairly reasonable. Discovery. I have the price upstairs. Yes, that, and I'm just opening up the link where it is. $289.
Whoa, that's
really
not the same
inexpensive.
ballpark, man. That's really good.
Yeah. $300.
And then This is what it's going on top of.
Ooh, is that it? Oh, that
What
is
the?
that's like it's an air rifle, but like a non-restricted air rifle, right?
Correct.
I want one of those. Yeah, those are neat.
With
Oh, someone needs some pest elimination power then.
A 50 cal, or
a
is it?
magazine.
Oh
22.
yes. Oh, it's okay.
22
22
caliber.
That's fair.
22
Good.
caliber, but 1,000 feet per second.
1,000 feet per second, 22 cal. You know, that's a gopher slayer for sure. Oh, oh, I like that. Okay.
Kind of like a toggle, right?
Yeah, I dig that. You cycle that.
Why
fast.
not just a proper firearm at this point?
Well, that's what you can
Okay,
charge up
I
too.
know.
This one's got a
I
big
know
bad.
air guns are like expensive. How much is this?
Yeah, they're not cheap.
Not cheap.
No, that's what 12.
Like more
1400?
expensive than a Savage Model 2 for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like $1,000.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, I was kind of guessing around the 1,400 mark by the time taxes are done with you. The reason I don't own one of those things is, again, they are a novelty. I have no gophers to slay living out here, and that is what I would do with that toy.
But think about the squirrels in the backyard.
Are you allowed to
No.
shoot squirrels in BC? Probably.
You're not allowed to discharge a firearm in a
That's
residential
fair.
area.
In a city area, yeah.
And my neighbors already like to call the cops on us. So
Really?
yeah, we've had them call the cops on us like a half dozen times because of like perfectly reasonable amounts of afternoon noise in the backyard.
But this one has a magazine in the back. Look how
Dude,
far back the mag goes.
Oh wow, so it's a bullpup.
Oh yeah,
That's
Bullpup,
great.
bullpup. Yeah.
Dude, that's
What's
really
the-
cool.
What's the name of the Desert Tech bullpup? Bolt
MDR?
action thing? Yeah.
Yeah.
MDR on air. There you go.
Dude, I like that. I like that a lot.
Check out this safety. Okay, nothing to see on that side. There's the safety on that side.
What the? Why
Oh,
would you put it
interesting.
there? I guess it makes
It's an AR, but wrong position.
side. Why would you put it on that side?
I don't know. But it's on that side. And you pull it back to fire.
Oh, okay.
Isn't that fun?
Well, if you push it forward to fire, it'll be even more awkward, I think.
I wonder how many shots this cylinder will take.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
450 bar. That doesn't mean anything to me.
No,
Sounds like a lot.
Well, lunatic diving would know.
I mean,
I never dove in bar, but I.
Oh,
look
it's
at the
always in
cylinder, I'm
PSI?
gonna say that's probably gonna be about 300 pounds. 300, or it's not 300, 3,000 psi.
Yeah, on
I
the
feel
side here, the screw says 5,000 psi.
Yeah,
So-
but what's your bottle
Lots.
rated for?
Well, 450 bar.
Because that's gonna be the limiting factor, probably.
Test pressure. Service pressure is 300 bar. So I guess 300 bar.
I feel like you're gonna get like dozens of shots out of that, but I know when I was investing, my grandfather wanted me to get into these. He has one, and but he's got air suspension on his truck, so he's got like a compressor. So when he goes out into the field in Saskatchewan and shoots with it, he just like charges it there off of his truck. So I don't know.
Yeah, you need a fancy compressor to get up to
Yeah,
the, because 300 bar is, I just looked it up, the 4,300 psi.
Yeah, I was
It's
just
up-
doing the
it's up
same
there.
thing.
it's up there. Yeah, you're not going to be doing that with just like a crappy compressor. So yeah, there's ups and downs to everything, right?
Yeah, but yeah, it's kind of neat. I did a little bit of reorganization in my gun room. Here, maybe I'll throw the lights on there. So I took out the wine rack so I could fit more guns. So now I've got a Racco short guns over there because
Nice.
I needed the space.
Corporal says it's the same picture.
Same picture. Yeah. And then this weekend I have a Maple Seed double header. It's going to be it could be a good time. It's all sold out, and we have a buttload of instructors that are going to be instructing along with us. So I think day
Where's it
one
gonna be at?
Sherwood Park.
Nice.
I think it's like 5 and 7 instructors. So 5 instructors for day 1 and 7 instructors for day 2, which is getting real close to 1 instructor for every 2 participants, which is pretty good coverage. I think and like all the guys that are going to be instructing have all got like 10 plus maple seeds under their belt. So they're all pretty seasoned instructors. So I think it's going to be a pretty easy time of it. I'm going to camp too. Yeah, so I'm going to camp in between.
Yeah, I was just about to say.
the other.
You got a good setup for camping now too. You that one picture you posted, I was like, oh, he's pretty close to just bougie camping.
I wouldn't say it's too bougie, but it's comfortable. It's comfortable. Yeah. So I camped last weekend. I'll camp next weekend. The weekend after, I want to say there's going to be some camping and shooting involved with that too. And then soon enough, we're back into that competition that Tony's coming out for, and I'll be
Madness.
I'll be camping for that too. Am I going to be camping for every weekend until
just throw the camper there?
I might as well, right? Yeah. So Maple Seeds this weekend, PAL next weekend. Oh, the one after that, I'm doing a private PAL and then a Maple Seed, and then PAL, our PAL, and then a PAL, and then Rimfire Madness. I'm at the point of the year where there are no weekends without PALs, our PALs, Maple Seeds.
But your weekend PALs are at Sherwood Park.
Some of them are,
yeah. So you might as well throw your camper there.
Yeah, if only I could just leave it out there. No, that's my spot. No, can't do that though.
Too bad.
Yeah, what I got to do is find a farmer in the like nearby area, like 5 minutes away. Be like, hey, can I just park this here for this week? Just during the week, right? And the weekend, it'll disappear. I'll come back for the week. That's what I do.
That happened. There was a farmer, I think he was in Saskatchewan, I think, that like ended up with a house in his field for like a couple of weeks. Somebody they were doing one of those like house moves, right? And something had occurred. Either like there was like lines somewhere that they hadn't planned for or something, and they just like, well, here's an empty field. We're gonna park this here until we sort this out. But they didn't like know who owned the field, and it was a thing where it was like, this guy came out to survey his field one day. It was like, I guess I have a house now. It was, anecdotal, completely pointless. Sorry, this is a gun show. I'm rambling.
I like it. I like how it came out of nowhere.
Outdoor show.
Kyle, what about you?
I got back from Alaska Sunday night, so I haven't done a lot. I think I'm gonna do it tomorrow. I still gotta run by the shop and do my 4473 for the AR-10 lower that came in finally.
That's a short barrel permission, right?
No, that's just my background check.
Oh, right. Okay. Are you not covered with the CPO?
So with New Mexico, because I'm not permanent resident yet, I can't get the CCW license, which would bypass that. So
the real question, though, you were in Alaska. Did you carry concealed, completely free of any arbitrary rules while you were there?
No, because I was there for work, so I can't. Yeah.
Okay, fair.
How many
sites don't let you have them? I technically can't drive in my work truck with one, so I couldn't get to the airport with a firearm unless it was a work function.
Fair.
So, by abiding not only laws but company rules, no, I couldn't. I did take an extra day at the end and did some touring around and drove by their range, which I probably should have, but it was closed when I came back, and I was trying to get someplace because I was on a schedule, and so I didn't stop in, but you could see one of the bays right from the highway, so that was
nice.
Kind of cool. But the not pre-order, is just those Roth Performance butt stocks for the M2. Those went on sale yesterday morning, so I placed my order for one of those. It should be here in time for the show next week. It's shipping. They got it shipped that day, and so it should be arriving on Tuesday. So that'll be interesting. We'll see if it's worth the money.
How much was it? And
it was $350.
Ooh.
That's a lot US dollars too.
Yeah, and it looks like a lot. we'll wait for it to see, but it looks like a lot of it's 3D printed.
Oh, boo.
What's performance about it?
So for one, a lot more adjustability on your butt pad position. So lately I've been having a real issue with short shouldering, or basically getting lazy and shouldering low. And so that should help. I should be able to drop my butt pad down lower with that. And I don't know if any of you remember, it was like Fab Defense made for the old Swiss Arms. They had this butt pad that had a spring, and you could sit there and take the butt pad and compress it into its tube. And it's kind of got a similar thing going on. It's got springs built into it. You can a lot more adjustment. Well, not a lot more. You actually have adjustment on length of pull now, and adjustable cheek pad. So there's some cool features about it that, like, it just makes it more adjustable to fit, and supposedly it's going to be even softer with this with being basically a shock absorbing. It's got a couple springs in there. And that but will be interesting on how it cycles with lighter loads on being an inertia gun. So, and I know it's similar. I think the Beretta has a similar thing, and I know Mark is trying to get confirmation that it's IPSC legal for like Worlds and that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I know I probably should go to the range this weekend. We'll see if that happens. And yeah, that's pretty much it for me this week.
You've been quite busy, though. I mean, that's pretty reasonable.
Yeah. And yeah, sorry for being late tonight. I got home from work and fell asleep on the couch, and nobody woke me up. So
Unacceptable.
Good excuse. Good excuse.
Yeah, I was sleeping. I would have been on, but I didn't want to be.
I woke up, looked at my phone. It's like, oh, okay.
Well, actually, we had a question for you. I was shooting my Nova Speed, and I was having issue chambering the gun.
Chambering.
As in, if I'm in a string, I kind of get stuck, and sometimes I'll see the shell is slightly deformed. So I'm having issues pushing the pump back into battery.
Okay.
Is
Do
it just with
think
your Challenger
it's a
ammo?
technique? No, it's between the Challenger and the Rio ammo. So I've tried both. Maybe I should try the Federal Action Shotgun Special Sauce ammo.
Have you been noticing any hesitation, or, like, I don't know how to put it, any restriction to racking a shell out? Like, if you shot and it was a little bit more difficult to rack that shell out?
I can't feel. I haven't had fail to eject issues or fail to extract issues. It's just always. It's always on the way in. Happened a few times. Well, we'll watch it, but it's my first time shooting that gun, so
Yeah.
maybe it's a technique thing. Maybe it's a short stroking thing. Something. I don't know.
I mean, technique thing, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you're having to, it's hard. And you guys said a deformed hull.
Yeah, it could.
Some shotgun shells could do it.
deformed.
Yeah. Have a really good look at that chamber. I mean, like, there's no real hard edge. You got a force cone on that, so, like, I mean, it shouldn't. If you need to, take the wire brush, put it in a drill, and if there's plastic buildup there or something, just get a flashlight. That would be my first look, is look down that chamber, make sure that all your plastic and everything is cleaned up, and then take a wire brush and just polish the crap out of that. Without seeing it, it's hard to say. But
you should next time, Tony, like, when stuff like that happens, take some pictures on site, especially of, like, whatever you're shooting. Like, if you have a round that didn't like to chamber, pull it out and take a picture of it. Like,
Yeah, but it's on the clock, right? So you're
Oh
trying
yeah,
to
no, I guess you were shooting a comp when it was
diagnose it
happening.
when you're
Yeah,
shooting it.
fair. Yeah, that's
Oh,
always
yeah.
when
Yeah, that
shit
makes it
goes
hard.
wrong,
Hey,
right?
guys, just wait. I need to.
For any of the listeners wondering, I came dead last. It was a small match, but I came
So you
dead
could have.
last.
Yeah,
You could have taken
there was no
this.
consequences.
Yeah, I guess that means so far the improvement from going from an SXP to a Nova speed is 0% because they still came to. Actually, it's probably a decrease because in the bigger matches, I actually do slightly better. So
Tony, get a semi-auto and start quad loading.
no,
Yes,
no,
He
you're
doesn't need a
already.
semi-auto, but he does need to quad load.
He does need to quad
Yes.
load.
I do need to quad load. I don't need a semi-auto.
So,
Yes, you do need
I
a semi-auto.
I know I missed your section. You were in the chat. You were talking about switching up your loading.
Oh yeah, I should mention that too. Wear gloves if you're trying to strong hand load. You're gonna burn your hands off.
Well, do it right and don't rotate the gun in your hand.
Whoa, big brain moment. What? How? Does that work?
So yes, so strong hand. Here, let me get.
Yeah,
I have a pump handle in my hand though. I don't know. That'll
you
be
can
a little
absolutely
awkward.
do it that way.
It doesn't
Okay.
matter if it's pump action or semi-auto. So when you're a strong hand, what you want to do is basically have it just flat on your shoulder.
You're violent it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And then that's why where I was saying you're not seeing into your port.
No,
It's all
I'm
by
not
feel.
watching it.
So when you do that, this hand, your forward hand, it doesn't move.
Nope.
It's just like that.
Okay.
Where you have the issues is, or not you, but where people have issues and where, like you're saying, wear a glove, is they'll take that, rotate their
Do
hand,
that. Yep.
and
Oh,
try
I
to
don't
flip it
do
off.
that.
Yeah,
But
but to flip that 90 degrees, you shouldn't have to move your hand.
that's true. I guess maybe my hands is just not as flexible.
No, you
Like,
just need to
you're
practice it.
rotating it
I
90
just need to
degrees.
practice more. I need
It's just
I
putting
need
palm
different
up.
I need
Okay,
different
I
shell
thought you
holders
were
too,
going
man.
to weekend loading.
No, I was doing all the weekend loading, right? Because that's how I did it on my old shotgun. And
Yeah.
that's how it's most convenient on the Bandolier. And when
Yeah.
you have a freaking carjack of a spring acting against you on the loading gate of a Winchester, it doesn't work. You have to like get in there and push it real hard. But yeah, I think I need practice.
Dude, like again, sit in front of the TV for like a couple of nights a week for a while and just sit there and do it over and over, practicing that action, that like bring the gun up, 90 degree turn, load, back on target, unload, do it again and again and again. I mean, like I get the
Yes,
weekend
so-
loading. If you're loading like off a card on your gun, like do that too. These are all great skills.
I much prefer, like, especially like quad loading. I do prefer weekend load.
Really?
Yes, that's how I. That's my
Interesting.
main
Oh,
is weekend load.
I'm mostly
so,
weekend as well.
interesting.
So it's just
Yeah, that's how I
Under-
see the HGG videos. Yeah.
and then
I don't like moving the gun around that much. Like the thing that I think makes me the happiest when I'm like strong hand loading is that it feels like I'm manipulating the gun less. Like to get it back on target, it just feels faster for me. But
Well, you're
I should
flipping it
practice that
less,
too.
right? If you're,
Yeah, it's less manipulation.
yeah. So with the disclaimer that I haven't found any way faster than the other if you're proficient at it. My reasoning is every time you reload, you are moving the gun once.
Right.
If you are doing even like a load 6, your hand is going to your belt twice.
Yeah.
So the space that you're going to be moving over more, in my mind, should be shorter. So you do it under the shoulder weekend, you're right by your shells. And plus, at that point, you can look down and see your load port. A couple things. It helps with less fumbles on the reload because now it's not intuitive. It's not just trying to hit the same spot every time. As well, especially in Canada where you're a 6 or 7 on a 2-inch, depending on how tight you want to go, a 6 or 7 round tube. Now you can see on a quick glance if you see your follower. If you see your follower, cool, I'm loading 6.
Yeah.
I'm doing a quad and a load 2. I don't see that. Okay, I'm not gonna bother. I'm just gonna throw a quad. Or like down here, now I know, oh yeah, I know I have lots of targets left. I had some makeup shots. I see follower. I'm loading 8.
That's fair. Maybe I need to practice that some more.
That's my reasoning for it, and it's just less relying on muscle memory to hit the same spot every time for efficient reload.
I find I have a more latitude. So imagine guns under your arm. Weekend loading. I can be moving right across the stage, no problem, and keep it pointed straight down range. Left across the lanes is a little bit harder, but I can still do it. Whereas when it's up on your shoulder, you have less direction. You have less degrees of motion, I guess.
Yeah, that's a good point too.
That's a really good point. Something for me to think about in the future. Here, I thought I had it all figured out, you guys.
I don't know. Well, I shot it as an open gun in the match, so I was able to shoot all 14 rounds out of the shotgun.
Oh, you guys are limiting rounds in divisions.
I think in IPSC it's supposed to be 9. That's 8+1 in the chamber, or so I think that's what it was. It gets really heavy in the front, so I think maybe that's why I'm also gravitating towards strong hand loading, just because the big old tube is really long. Maybe that's a pump action issue in Canada only.
That is only a pump action issue in Canada.
Yeah.
Fair. All right. Well, with that, let me scroll us on over to upcoming events. Right. So we got no Kelly. Adriel, do you want to mention the Maple Seeds coming up for the next 30 days? You kind of touched on.
They're on mapleseedrifleman.ca. I would say you can go there.
Wonderful. And you've got, I think you said your Hunting Gear Guy firearms training for May 31st, June 1st. Is that the one that sold out already?
No, there's still spots available for that one.
Sweet. Tony, you want to talk about BTSA?
Yep, upcoming Steel Challenge match, and we have a news about Steel Challenge later as well. But this coming Saturday, May 24th, Steel Challenge weekend match, 8 stages.
Cool. There's no Dave to read about Ontario Rifle Association events, but the calendar is up on OntarioRifleAssociation.ca. Go give it a peek. And then we got 3 gun matches, 3gun.ca. Do you want to talk about that, Tony? There's a June 28th, 29th. No? Yes? No?
I got that one. The Sherwood Park Rimfire Madness will be June 28th and 29th.
Somebody write Sherwood Park. I don't know what SPFGA is. I know what the Fish and Game Association is.
You know.
Yeah, thank you. A reminder, National Range Day is going to be June 7th this year. Find a range near you. Maybe, if you're a CCFR member, something like that, an opportunity to get involved. Probably a little late to set up an event, but there's going to be lots of them. And then there's a Chaz Ladies Day, June 24th.
Well, it's not too late to set up an event. It's just not going to have the bouncy cancels and everything. If you haven't set anything up, still set something up.
No, you know what? If you are motivated enough, you could still get a bouncy castle up there. Trust me, I can get a bouncy castle in like 24 hours notice. You just have to make those calls.
I actually want to jump in for 2 seconds. I did just pull up the IPSC shotgun rules, and this is a classic. Read the
At
rule.
the star signal.
Yes. Appendix D12. Capacity restrictions for initial load prior to the start signal. And yes, for standard or standard manual, it is a max of 9 rounds at the start signal. So
I have a 2.
You can load that 14 rounds after the start. You can only start with 9 in there.
No, you're not gonna load 14 because the Nova Speed does support a go slow. You're not gonna load a go slow when you're on the clock, I don't think.
Why are you going to run it ghost load, Tony?
Because I can have 14.
Yeah, but you can't start that. You're not going to ghost load in the middle of a stage. When you're not running your tube capacity, you're not going to ghost load.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I ran in a division that technically doesn't have a limit, so I paid for the whole freaking gun. I'm gonna use it all.
Is you could instead of handicapping yourself in open, you could go shoot in standard manual,
I know, I
start
was
with
the only
9,
open shooter
and then
that day.
run your 14. Like I have 12 round. I can only start with 9 in the gun in a 3-gun stage. But I do use all 12. I'm just saying then you could actually compete in your division, not handicapping yourself in open.
I know. Technically, I couldn't run in the IPSC divisions because you can't have a bandolier. It's a lot of
No, because
You're
our
running a
reloads have to
bandolier?
come from
Yeah, I
reloads
was
must
still
come
running
from
a
the
bandolier.
belt.
Yep.
Start getting belt, like start doing your like proper
Yeah,
belt
quad
3D
load.
printer
Yeah,
magic. Yeah.
You did that nice port opening and everything. You just gotta get quad loading.
Yeah.
Oh, it's very ugly.
It's
I
so
hate
much it's so much fun playing with that though. Like all right, real quick and then I'll get to the news. The like any kind of shot shell caddy, especially like anything that's set up for quad loads, looks ridiculous. It doesn't, like, all flavors of ridiculous, but they're kind of fun, right? Like, I don't know.
It also costs ridiculous though.
No, mine
Not
cost
all of
like
them.
$40.
Oh yeah, well yeah. So
Like
3D machine go burr.
3D machine go burr and then burn fingers while heat inserting all of the inserts and cursing. There's a lot of cursing making those things, but they work.
Yeah, Adriel's had luck with the Alibaba ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's airsoft ones too that are fairly robust, and a lot of that stuff's coming out of China too. Like there's infinite non $300-$400 options out there.
Yeah, you don't have to go buy the ones that I do.
No.
I don't
No.
recommend that.
I'm going to
especially
send
just
you a link,
starting out.
Tony.
Send me the link too.
God.
All right. With that, let's move on to the news. By the way, the news is not sponsored by anybody, nor is upcoming events. Anybody can sponsor any of these if they would like. First, top of the list, Carney just put out his mandate letter. Didn't say a thing about guns. I mean, again, that's no news is good news. Honestly, like the longer we go with no news on the gun thing, at some point they're going to have to address the amnesty because that runs out in October. So I don't know. At some point we're going to hear some news about the gun thing, but if like, you know, he said during the election that they were going to hit that thing fast and hard and get it going, but nothing about it in their mandate letter. We've got they're going to have a couple of sitting weeks and then they're going to bugger off for the summer because they're irresponsible, meaning they come back in the fall. I don't know that they'll have a lot of time to action a nationwide gun confiscation program over, you know, just extending the amnesty again. So I think no news is good news personally. And then moving on, looks like USPSA membership price reduced.
Yep. So we had I think this is for foreign members only, so this might not apply to Kyle, but we had a very dramatic membership cost increase for last year for foreign members. So for BTSA, that impacts the majority of the Steel Challenge crowd because USPSA and Steel Challenge are tied together. I believe it's going to be $70 per year now, which is, I remember it was like 100 last year, and it was maybe 50 or less the year before. So it's still an increase over 2023, but it's not so you're getting a discount slightly, let's say. So
I mean,
potentially good news for
dude. In this day and age, any price reduction is a good thing.
So yeah, that's good.
So next up, looks like Federal has some cool new shot shells, masterclass shot shells, not designed for reloading.
I guess this is more of a new gun stuff. I put it in the wrong section.
Yeah,
Maybe
it's in the
Igor
wrong
can show
section.
us, but they have a new, I guess, like
Here.
sub flagship
Just
type
so
of.
I'll share. One second. Here we go. Somebody's got to put it up. I don't have control anymore. There we are. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like a sub flagship class shot shelf. I think their top of the line is called the higher overall,
Okay.
which would be using like a for shot shell reloading is like a whole different topic. It's not as
Yep.
popular these days, and there's like when for the most part as a reloader you think of brass as brass, but there's actually a lot more nuance to shot hulls, and the high overalls will be using a one piece tapered wad hull design, and these would be not as not probably not impossible to reload, but not as orientated for that market or for reloading longevity, for example.
Right. Yeah, that's still kind of interesting. Any new ammo is kind of fun and cool. Yeah, should have gone in the new gun section. So Tony gets -1 gold star, but that's okay. I'm only keeping track in my head, Tony.
Yeah.
Moving right
Okay, I got a
along.
chart going.
Oh, good. Somebody's keeping track. Moving right along. Canada Post's going on strike on Friday again. So
Who cares?
yay! Yeah.
So don't
Yeah.
expect your guns. Well, I
Which
guess
ones?
Just order them on. Make sure that they send them via UPS.
Yep. Yeah, UPS will do it.
plus $50 to ship it via UPS or something.
10 to
I
ship
don't
to
know.
UPS.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, if you're on gun post, people are probably using Canada Post more than anything else, right?
Canada Post, yeah.
I popped on CGN the other day for the first time in a long time. I miss it. I miss what it was. Moving on, we've got IPSC World Shoot. Somebody put a video up of one of our Canadian national world shoots.
Yeah,
I think
our
this is
Manny Philstein out of BTSA. CCFR have reposted some of the videos. I believe it's done now. I actually don't know, but we should
they had to
have
borrow.
the
Is
should
it
have the
IPSC
team
pistol?
on.
'Cause I know IPSC PCC was going on.
Yeah, IPSC PCC World Shoot.
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
Yeah, they had to borrow rifles or rent rifles. I think.
I think they used R9s. I thought were
Did
they
they?
using
No, they
R9s
used
before?
No,
some.
they
They
rented
used
them.
some Da Vinci thing brought by the States.
They
something
have
better.
R9s they had planned on using, but then they got banned, right?
No,
as
the
of-
R9 didn't get banned yet.
Oh,
Not to my
Oh.
knowledge. They said it was
Yeah.
going to, but then it didn't.
well, but we can't sell it, right? I thought, isn't that how they like
Mm,
semi-banned
no,
it?
no.
but
R9
I think-
didn't get an FRT yet.
Yeah, but I thought the whole didn't the
So it can't
CFP
be
or
sold.
someone
Oh, you
make a
can't
rule
sell
you
them.
can't
It can't
sell
be
a
sold.
new gun that doesn't have
but it
a
didn't
that
get
doesn't
banned
have an
from
FRT.
use.
Yeah, they
It
just
didn't get
banned from
banned.
sale.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. God, man, our rules make less and less sense as the days go on. Moving on, everybody knows this already. CCFR appeal did not go our way. I think we talked about that last week, actually, but it's on the teleprompter, so I'm reading it.
Mhm.
And yeah, I mean, we all know this isn't good, doesn't pose good things for what it means for, having, basic rights. It's bad news for Canadians for multiple reasons. It is the opinions of the justices that the protections in the criminal code to prevent the governor and council from banning guns that are legitimate for hunting and sporting use are irrelevant. That would be section 58. The decision illustrates that the protections provision is subject to the whim of the GIC, governor and council, who can change their mind at any time, and it is just their opinion. That opinion doesn't need to be based on facts, evidence, or anything, just whatever they want. So, yeah, that means the decision is clear. The courts will not constrain the government's overreach on this issue. This has a negative implication on many aspects of legal and legislative system in Canada. Our legal team will be reviewing the decision in depth over the next while and will advise on the next steps. That said, in the most recent episode of the CCFR podcast, Rod did say there is like a 70 or 80% chance that this will not be going to the Supreme Court, because I guess the decision, the way they wrote it, really tied it up in a nice bow and didn't leave them a lot of attack points for even an attempt at the Supreme Court. So, yay, no property rights in Canada.
But then Ian was going to challenge something.
Yeah, I saw he was taking something.
Yes, Ian is attempting to take to the Supreme Court the nullification of our registration certificates. So because that was a separate battle where they nullified the registration certificates, and there is supposed to be a methodology. Like nullification isn't a thing; it's not written in law anywhere. They just decided, yeah, we've nullified those. They don't matter anymore. Previously, to what's the word? Take back a registration certificate, for the government to take your registration certificate, there is a process by which you are supposed to be able to file an appeal within 30 days. It was the government's point of view that there is no appeal process because they're nullifying it, even though the nullification isn't written in legislation anywhere. And then the government argued in the appeals case that there is a nullification, or that there is a methodology for appealing the nullification process. So the government's talking out of both sides of their mouth, saying one thing over here and one thing over there, and Ian's using that as a point of attack. But that's kind of separate, and I don't think it won't have any effect on the banning, on the OICs, any of that stuff. If anything, like maybe the remedy would be to protect anybody with a nullified registration certificate from confiscation and destruction until they are given their opportunity for that 30-day appeal. I don't know. Yeah. And finally, CCFR is going to have a virtual AGM on June 28th. We've canceled the big celebratory one for obvious reasons. And yeah, I guess there's also one more thing. We've got Canadian election issues. The Bloc pushes for a by-election in the Terrebonne after 5 more ballot issues were declared in the riding. So anybody that's not familiar, there was a riding in Terrebonne in Quebec that flip-flopped from the Bloc to the Liberals, giving them, I think, 170 in final seat count. And it was over one vote. The Liberals literally won by 1 vote on a recount. And then they found that vote, or they found somebody who had mailed in a vote for the Bloc. It was a legitimate ballot. Elections Canada said, screw you, we're sticking with this. And it looks like the Bloc is pushing back because I think they found like 5 more votes that were invalidated. So I don't know. If we're lucky, maybe there'll be a by-election in Quebec and, Carney will lose 1 more seat. And that is the news. So with that, we are going to move on to new gun stuff, which is more fun. Does somebody else want to pop these things up just because I am a pleb and don't have total access? Wonderful. The Vortex Viper.
The drop. The shotgun one.
I'm interested in this.
In Canada yet?
Well, yes, because now they're at Victory Ridge Sports. So,
good. Apparently, it's just legal cheating for the modified division. So
I want it. I want this. I do want this. Yeah. I want to buy it on sale though.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'll buy it on sale or I'll buy a used one. But I want that. The CPR, the Compact Precision Rifle Sweepstakes. Oh yeah, somebody won that. I didn't watch the video, but I did see the video get posted. Don't know who won, but S&J had a cool Compact Precision Rifle Sweepstakes. Somebody won it. It
looks like the Bison, except it's REM 700 action and a proper barrel and all good stuff in there.
A gun that's not going to break on you. Well, I didn't say that out loud. Go Tenda, cheap levers. Ooh,
yeah, very cheap. I'd imagine they're Turkish, but they've got the Morrison lever actions, 357 Magnum. Look at these ones.
Yeah,
12-inch barrel.
Yeah, that's
look at that TD. Look at that weird looking thing.
That's cute. I like it.
Yeah,
I love that.
It has a pick rail too.
It's got a pick rail. That's good. Adriel, you should buy a couple of these. Let us know how their quality is. I know how much you love lever guns. Start a collection.
Oh, it's got a side. That looks like a button safety on the side.
Oh,
yeah, I do like the side gate.
Kyle?
I love how the buttstock is longer than the forehead.
It's so good.
Well, it's surprising.
More shootable, right?
That's a short barrel. How many rounds do you think that one takes? This
6,
one
maybe
holds
7.
6 plus 1, yeah.
Yep.
And the longer one with the 18-inch barrel is 8 plus 1. So it's not even
What?
that many more rounds.
Only
Yeah.
2 more rounds out of the longer? I would definitely go with the shorter
Yeah.
then. Yeah.
8 plus 1 for the long boy. I'll get the short one too. It's a pistol round. 12 inches is fine.
Yeah.
It looks silly, but you could probably put a red dot or something on that shorter one, right?
Oh, I would.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
$850. That's
not bad.
Cheapest I've seen, like a lever action.
Brand
new.
What about those other 2 that were on the bottom? They had cool finishes. I want to see.
Yeah. You like the laminate one? The 12-inch ones?
Okay, well, let's go back to the cool gun that I really want. This. Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
How much was it?
It's $950.
That's for the stainless one.
That's for the stainless one. They're the nickel one. Yeah. All right. Big picture.
I really don't want a Turkish lever gun, but the
That's
price
the
is
one.
so good.
Dude, that's pretty. That would go like, because like my SBL has the same sort of laminate and nickel finish.
Right, the 4570.
Yeah. I could totally start collecting them in that finish type. I like that. Put a little red dot on that. That'd be a good day. Yep. If anybody wants to get me a birthday present, just saying. Okay.
It's pretty cool, yeah. And then
like-
the next one here is the EGE Arms
Yes.
Levar 12 lever action 10.6-inch black walnut shotgun, non-restricted.
You know,
It looks so mean. They're desperately trying to make this look like an operator gun.
Boss mag.
dude, it's cool though.
It does.
It's
kinda
very
look
short.
interesting.
It's I
Oh,
would
careful with
shoot
that C clamp.
Yeah, do you see his one finger is like right there.
Yeah.
But
I had to
Yeah,
blur
I
his
mean-
face because he's CSIS or what's our
JTF
SWAT?
2.
JTF, yeah.
Really?
I I dig that. And again, I honestly think we're just going to see more lever guns coming to the market over time. Do they have a price or like an intended landing date for that thing, or is it just?
Let's see. Stocking dealers Tenda. Let's see. Levar 12S. Let's see what this thing goes for. Do they have it in stock yet?
I'll bet you they don't. But I mean, yeah, no results. Yeah.
Not yet.
I think it's still going to be a bit before, but there's a lot of
How much are the magazines, and we're gonna find the freaking magazine?
It might just be it might take the standard Turkish pattern.
It looks
magazine.
like it. Yeah.
Yeah, the 510s.
That means
It's a nice flared magwell, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's a fun little space gaddy, black gun-ish thing.
Well, thing is, like, that's cool. Like, you could be up there shooting, and they wouldn't even think, and then you see you reload, and
yeah. Look at this. Lever 15.
This thing has a fucking
Why? What is that doing there?
It's got a forward assist.
Why does it? What is?
Okay, I want to know if you have the lever slightly open, can you jam it in there?
Oh, okay.
Oh,
This is
that
a gas-powered This is a pellet gun, guys.
Oh, okay.
I'm like,
yeah, but
so
still,
this is
it's
actually a
forward
meme gun.
assist.
That's too good. Okay.
Lever action airsoft. It's an airsoft rifle.
Yeah, green gas. Yeah.
Okay, but this has got to be modeled after a real gun, right? Like, there's stuff like this coming on the market.
I saw there was a crazy thing that's a lever gun. I don't know if it's a real gun or it's like a concept or a prop, but there's I think there was a black lever gun that had a forward assist on it. I thought it was a thing, but I might be wrong.
I love it. Oh, they got a pistol version. Do they still have that one in stock? In stock.
Wow.
Oh, I don't know where to start.
As you know what? Because that's an airsoft gun, right? That would be a fun thing to build into a prop, like to turn that into a properly prop space gat thing. That's pretty neat.
Yeah.
It's even got a little little
These ones are
picture.
not available just yet.
They're coming. I'm telling you. I said it last week. I'm going to say it again. You're going to see way more lever guns hitting the market. There's all of that stuff at SHOT Show this last year.
Yeah, they've got some of the EGE arms, just not that 12.
We're gonna see them in all flavors. It's gonna be 223, 9mm. 3-gun. The future of 3-gun has a lever.
Oh, it's just so sad.
I know.
No, pump, no lever. Lever shotguns are so
pump,
bad.
Yeah. I was seeing something. Actually, it was a commercial on TV when I was up in Alaska. An AR that instead of like a top handle or even side charge, it had a pump built into the handguard to operate the bolt. But it's a semi-auto, like it's a semi-auto AR, but to manually operate the bolt, it had.
What?
Yeah, I gotta remember the name of it, but not that it matters because Canadian show. But that was interesting to see.
So, that is the end of new gun stuff, and with that comes our main topic, which tonight will be interesting. We are going to do 5 things you, the listener, do not know about us or didn't know about us. So we've tasked each other with coming up with 5 things that we haven't shared before. I don't know. I mean,
I'm struggling, guys. I'm struggling.
Same.
So many hours on air.
I know, right? You guys have been doing this.
Maybe we should do 3 instead of 5. I don't know.
I came up with 5.
Why don't you start first then? Because
I'm going to be honest.
I don't even have
some of these are cop outs, but so yeah, I got a couple that I can ramble with though. All right, the very first one, I don't think I've shared. I'm a huge Lego nerd, like enormous. I've got a massive Lego collection upstairs. Tyler and I we are massive Lego collectors. I got like literally buckets of unbuilt, like formerly built, disassembled, bagged sets and stuff. It's another hobby. When I can't play with the Lego for men that is guns, I play with Lego for kids that is, I don't know.
That could be guns. The Block 15.
I have a Lego gun downstairs actually that's on display. I used to have one of my Vortex scopes on it actually because it was like a rifle. It's like a Rem 700 rifle and needed a scope. But that's one weird, interesting thing, I guess. Another fun and interesting thing about myself that I haven't shared. I have had the same pet for 25 years. Nobody do the math. But I have a red-eared slider turtle that I got when I was a kid. By the way, parents, turtles are terrible gifts to get children. That is a forever pet. That is a commitment forever. There's a whole story, but I ended up with a turtle as a pet when I was younger, and I have had him my whole life for 25 years, and there's a good chance that he'll be around for another 40 if I look after him. So that's I don't know. Most people don't have pets for 25 years solid and going. So I thought that was maybe interesting. Oh, this is a completely inconsequential one, but I am the only person in my immediate family who cannot drive a big rig. Yeah.
Everyone's got class 2 and above.
Everyone in my family. Everyone in my family has their 1A. Everyone in my family. It is actually a thing that I've been teased about. I know how to operate one of these, but I legally cannot, and I am the only person in my immediate family.
Training is bloody expensive.
Yeah, but when you have family that own their own trucks, the training is less bad.
I guess.
Right. Mm-hmm. But yeah, my stepdad, and my brother, they both drive heavy wrecker for a tow truck company now, but they both, like, my stepdad did long haul for years, all sorts of stuff. My mom and him drove tandem for a long time, going back and forth to the US. I grew up in a big rig when I was a kid. Like my biological father, they did, again, long haul. I saw most of the continental US before I was 10, which is why I love it down there so much. But yeah, I'm the only person in my family can't drive a big rig, which is just kind of anecdotally hilarious. I learned how to drive grain truck on the farm, and I have, in the appropriate settings, operated big truck before, but I'm not licensed for that. So that's fun. And what's that? Is that 3? Should have been ticking these off. I think that's 3. I came up with 6, so that one and
bonus one.
Yeah, the bonus one's hilarious actually. So I guess number 4 will be I am a completely self-taught prop builder. So for all of the prop builder and sewer, actually, I'm a pretty mean seamstress. I don't know. Call it what you want. I am excellent with a sewing machine. Yeah, seammeister.
Yeah.
Seammeister. There it is. Yeah, I like
Would
that.
be like a tailor?
No,
Actually, I mean, I'm gonna go with
Yeah, okay.
seammeister because it's better. Yeah. I am dangerous with a sewing machine or a serger. You sit me down in front of an industrial machine, I can make anything. And I completely taught myself. Came in through like the cosplay community and stuff. I can sew anything, and then I can pretty much make anything, whether it's 3D printing, molding, sculpting, some metal work. I have done it all, and every bit of it has been self-taught. I never had a teacher, and I turned it into a career. So that's kind of fun and cool. And I'll cross that one off the list. My 5th, and then I'll give you my bonus one. Guns are actually how I ended up with my props career, which is, maybe I told that story, maybe not, but the fact that I had a firearms license. So I wanted to get into film, and I thought I was going to be a camera operator. That was like my whole time in film school. The business I ran when I got out of film school was all based around doing camera stuff. I wanted to be a Steadicam op. I still have a Steadicam rig, and I still do a little bit of it, but a lot of the motion gimbals and stuff kind of killed a lot of that skill set. But I wanted to be a Steadicam op. And so I went through film school, ran a business doing just camera work, all camera. But I needed to pay the bills. So I was doing kind of any other gig work on the side while I was trying to get into the camera union, because you basically work as a slave getting into the camera union as a camera trainee. And so to supplement that, I worked on non-union shows in whatever capacity they would hire me as. You need a guy to set up a light? I'm your guy. You need a grip? Here I am. You need someone that's not scared to drive a 5-ton through downtown Vancouver at 6 a.m? Give me a call. Anyway, I had a buddy that I worked with asked me to cover for him for a week doing a cop show. He called me. He's like, "Hey, he knew I did cosplay stuff. He's like, you do prop stuff, right?" I'm like, "Sure." Never done a day in props in my life. And he's like, "You've got your gun license, right? This is the most important thing when you're doing a cop show. Like, the props team actually needs to have firearms licenses. It's actually a prerequisite." And I was like, "Yes." It's like, "Excellent. I've been trying to find somebody with a gun license to cover for me for a week. Can you come cover for me on the prop department for a week?" And I said, "Absolutely." And the very fact that I had my pal was how I got my very first prop job, which turned into a prop career suddenly, working for the first guy that hired me. That first week, he liked me so much, he hired me for the rest of the show, and then several shows after, and the rest is history. But had I not had my gun license, I would not have had my foot in the door for that very first prop job, which, kind of led me to being where I am now. And my bonus is I have zero interest in hockey. You can name a famous hockey player XYZ. You could put them in front of me. Never heard of her. Like yeah, never. Nothing. Completely.
Wayne Gretzky? Don't know.
Yeah. Wayne who? Yeah, like I honestly couldn't pick him out of a lineup. Never paid any attention, never will. It's why I don't belong in this country, because I definitely don't abide by that ethos at all. So, who managed, while I was rambling, to come up with 5 things about themselves to share?
I'm just looking something up for one of my stats.
Okay, Tony.
Tony, you got yours?
Sure, I'll go.
Go.
So the first thing is, before I started to really shoot a lot of guns, I shot a lot of pictures, specifically film pictures in 2020. In the 2020s, my friend was into it for a bit, and then basically my university curriculum got modified so I can have more electives. That's free reign. Like, back in the day, you had to take a science, for example. They made it just to do basically free electives. So I was like, okay, I'll do digital photography. I was, a little bit into that. My dad was into it back in the day. It was like, I have a camera, so I'll do that. And then they came up with the film photography course. And I was like, that'd be interesting. So I actually took 3 courses for that specifically, and I've actually shot a large format camera, a 4x5. So that's quite fun. I know how to develop my own black and white film.
I was
I
just
still
gonna ask
have
that.
Yeah, I still have quite a bit of film in my fridge. It's just after I picked up shooting as a hobby, and after I started to work really, during COVID times, there isn't really a lot of things to do, and you have to, for film, not so much, not a weekly basis, but on a monthly basis, you got to deliver your products. So I'll be on the street, empty streets, or like go find somewhere interesting, take photos of things, and I have leftover films till this day. I just don't have the time to go out shoot it that much anymore.
That's cool.
Yeah, I think so. But again, with any skill, if you don't use it, you lose it, right? So
It's true.
it's like, okay, now I need to measure the exposure. Like the camera thinks for me nowadays. It's like, okay, I need to work this 1980s meter. It's gonna meter high and do some math. Okay, this is gonna be how many stuff, and then it turns out your picture is way too dark. It's unusable. The second thing, on a unrelated but related note, I'm kind of into manual coffee making, as in grind your beans and you have this V60 cone. If there is some serious coffee drinkers in the viewer in
Do you go to the
listenership,
effort
that
of like the scale
like
and weighing
weigh
it?
it, yeah, weigh it and pour it. Usually we go with a 1:16 coffee brew ratio, and
Ooh.
like we talk about how coffees are processed in a natural way versus wash, things like that. That It's funny because that really started when my dad got a very fancy espresso machine. You would think I would jump into making espressos. No, I decided to go to the other route and do filter coffee. It's modern Chinese coffee culture is kind of its own different thing. It's more like drinking bubble tea in a sense, as in everything's loaded with sugar. So it's only after I started drinking filter coffee that I started to drink black coffee. So that's also a different thing.
Black as night on a moonless night.
As in no sugar, no cream. Is there like a reference in there that I don't get?
There was a Twin Peaks reference. It was for like one
Okay.
person listening, I promise.
Sure. Since Dustin brought up the pet thing, I kind of have a one and a little bonus fact about it. I had a pet butterfly.
Oh,
Interesting.
Yeah, I had a captive butterfly, more like, but there was this trip that my family took to, not quite rural, but like more of the countryside of Shanghai, China. There's just this tree that's filled with butterflies for some reason. So, and they're not really fly. I guess they don't know what humans are, something like that. They didn't try to fly away. So I got one, and then I had this basically a goldfish bowl. It's a small one. So I put it in there. You put your silicone tape on top just so it doesn't fly away. And then we fed it the core of the apple. So I ate the apple. The core of the apple is for the butterfly. I forgot how long it actually survived, but I think looking back at it, I think it's just the lifespan of the butterfly has run out at that point.
yeah.
Instead of maybe do any. Well, you probably shouldn't have butterflies in captivity. That's the first part, but yeah. And the second thing is I am banned from having a pet for life, basically, because my mom is dead afraid of dogs, and she doesn't like cats either. So she has a difficult time surviving in North America because everyone's so friendly to dogs.
Fair.
The last thing is relate. This is always a fun question for anyone who met me for the first time. but look at my face. You wouldn't think I was almost born in this century. So
No, I
that's a
would have
tip.
definitely guessed that. Like,
Oh, sure. Generally not, but yeah. That's 5 interesting facts, I guess. Maybe well known, maybe not.
all right, hang on. Before Adriel and Kyle go, do you think that Tony? Do you think they both have 5 things?
I doubt it, especially for Adriel. He's been on the internet for so long. Well, it depends on how good of a listener you are, right? There are like little things that he drops that gives us a little bit more insight, a little bit more insight, a little bit more
Right.
insight into
Oh, but like
his
I
history.
got stuff that you probably know. You guys probably know.
Yeah, that's
right.
the
But
thing,
that the
though.
listeners don't know,
We've
right?
also talked to Adriel in
depends.
person, so then there's more stories that came out that way.
Fair.
Sure.
Okay. So
Yeah.
my bet
but-
is Adriel's got 5, and Kyle's got 4.
Is that because you're just looking in the show notes and you can see
No,
how many
I-
we've got there?
Oh, you got them on the show notes. No, I wasn't looking at that. Oh, yeah, you. Oh, interesting.
That's where I keep my notes. Show
That's
notes, right?
fair. Yeah,
Had to
they're
put
right
them
here. I
somewhere.
could look at them. All right. Well, why don't you guys go then, Kyle?
Okay. Actually, it's fitting. Tony mentioned about if you listen, because I know I've mentioned it on the show, but it's like I think it may be once or twice. But before getting into recreational shooting, I was big time into scuba diving.
That's
I
really
scuba
cool.
dived a lot. Took tech diving, stage decompression, and was dive master.
Another thing I got to poke you about later. I have another. I have a buddy here who has been bugging me to get into diving. With he's master diver. He's been diving for a decade and has been really pushing me to get certified out here. Because apparently, if you get certified in BC, you can dive anywhere.
Pretty much, it's with the cold water diving, you wouldn't have an issue anywhere.
Anywhere, yeah. But that's
But
really
also
cool.
some of the
Hardest.
beautiful diving. Like
Yeah.
do dry suit. Like
Yeah.
I still have all my dive gear. It's sitting in storage. But,
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's not a lot of diving where you are.
No, not a lot. No. But
There
I'd have
wouldn't
to
be
get
a
everything
lake that you want to
recerted.
take a look or something?
Hmm?
There wouldn't be like a lake you want to take a look at or something near your area right
There
now?
is a couple places, but I mean, if I went down on the coast, apparently there's some dive charters in the Gulf there, and
Yeah.
whatnot. But I have to go and get my tanks, all my regulators. I gotta get everything recerted.
Would that be in the Gulf of America?
it's the Gulf. I don't care.
America,
It's
yes.
the Gulf.
No, I don't. Sorry, go ahead.
Nope.
It's still funny.
Yeah. So that's like actually where Lunatic came from. Was my first thing was the Lunatic diving, and because that's a lot of the diving I did was a lot of out of the norm, and so that was kind of my thing, Lunatic diving. And then when I got into shooting, it just turned into Lunatic Tactical, and now it's just Lunatic. Like
Cool. I did not know that.
Yeah. So there's 2 in 1.
Sweet.
Second, I know you guys know, but I guess kind of an amateur sound engineer. I do sound quite frequently at church for live productions and whatnot. So
No, hang on a second. You can't just drop that there because I've seen the board that you operate there. It's
it's a
substantial.
nice board. It is very nice, and like it is concert quality. Like that one there is a Digico Quantum 225, and like Digico that's used probably the model up more frequently, but in live concerts and like professional live concerts and that. So I mean it is absolutely professional grade with the compressors and everything that board does. I'm not there. That's why I play. I'm amateur. Everything is on the job, we'll call it.
Right.
But playing with waves and everything, it is fun. But take it more than just adjusting your treble, mid, and bass.
Cool.
Yeah. So, other one, kind of, I'm like Marvel, Star Wars, kind of nerd out. Not to an extreme point, but I can't just watch the movies or shows. I always watch the breakdowns afterwards and try and put the timeline together and everything. So that kind of runs into with my ADHD, I guess, because I get super interested in hobbies. So I've done a lot of different hobbies and just gone all in and bought a lot of stuff. And yeah, I'm not just satisfied with the status quo, I guess you could say. And so yeah, I'm sure it drives my wife nuts because we'll watch an episode like Andor just finished. Oh, we finished the 3 episodes. Okay, now I got another 10 hours of breakdowns and everything to watch.
Did you ever do like the 501st or anything like that? Like,
no, actually, that's the thing. I haven't done any of the cons. I just this Halloween got a Revan costume, so I want to build that out. And so yeah, I went as Darth Revan for Halloween this year.
nice.
We did Star Wars for Halloween this year, but yeah, like I mean, I like Marvel, but mine is predominantly Star Wars.
Very much respect that.
So I want to get the books, but I always find it hard to find time to read books. So
Yeah.
I don't know. This one might be a lame one, but I worked in Iraq for 8 months. So I worked
That's not lame.
overseas.
Lame. Just worked in Iraq for 8 months.
Well, I
Not
mean,
lame.
Yeah.
yeah, northern Iraq, up hill country.
Surrounded by prohib AKs.
No, they weren't prohib there.
They were, yeah.
Legit AK. Roadside AKs.
Oh yeah,
AK
every
with
car we drove in.
covers.
Well, except for the truck that we took from site to town, because that was interesting. So like I smoked and everything, and we'd go to the store because camp was right on site, and we would
Do they
take the
speak
truck in.
English?
Most like if you're
Oh.
educated, yes. Like the plant operators, they all spoke English, but then a lot of like the welders were all local welders. No, our helpers with helping pull wire, everything. Nope. So we had to learn the Kurdish, not the Arabic, but the Kurdish way of saying pull and try and communicate. So I actually still have a book of phrases and everything where I was trying to learn Kurdish, so then I could sit there and say good morning and hey, pull, or hey, I need you to go grab this or whatever. And
You don't have
I
an
still have
interpreter
that
with
book.
you
I
or
will
anything.
never get rid of that. It's so cool. But so we went to this one store, and I swear, like we made his rent every time we went. We made his rent for like the month or two, and he would be at the door and shake our hand as he'd see the truck pull up, and he'd make sure he shake our hand, and we're standing up there. He'd give us free packs of gum or something, and that. So.
What is that store? Just a grocery store?
Yeah, but like this was like a small town village, like not even 200 people.
Right.
Like it was just a small
Whoa.
village right by, and they did not speak English there. So, you walk in and you basically point. Oh, well, I had learned the Kurdish word for cigarettes and everything.
You
so.
didn't even have a camp interpreter?
Not that followed us around, no.
You got to be able to get out there and do stuff, right?
For a grocery
Like
run, I would think you'd
when
bring
we would
one.
go into a bigger town for some nights for pizza and shisha and that, and then one of our guys, like our security guys, would drive us in there, and one of the locals, like one of the camp manager, like basically hospitality manager or whatever, right? If you want to pick a title for him, and he'd take care of us, take us. Oh yeah, okay, we got a free night. Yeah, let's go do that. And
Cool.
whatnot. So yeah, that was a very cool experience. I actually left working for Shell to go do that job.
Wow.
So
I mean, that's a life experience that's really neat.
yeah, and overseas work is extremely hard to get into.
Yeah.
Unless you're teaching.
It's hard to stick with too.
Yeah.
All the guys can't do it.
I kind of stole the idea for this one from Adriel, but shot my first deer at 12 with a 6mm that my grandpa built. My grandpa was an amateur gunsmith, and I ended up with all his books and
You
everything.
said 6 mil. That means it's a wildcat?
No, it's not a
What's 6
wildcat.
mil?
Oh, it's a 6 mil what though?
6 mil Remington. It's a
Okay.
cartridge.
Sorry.
Yeah. Sorry, 6 mil Remington. Yeah, way before Creedmoors. Way before Creedmoors. The original 6
That
mil.
I know, but
And then I'll add on to that with as far as like recreational shooting, because growing up, rifles were used during rifle season for hunting. But I grew up shooting longbow. We'd go to longbow shoots and do competitions with them. And my parents had bought me later on a cherry vine longbow, hand carved cherry vine longbow that I still have. And
that is very cool.
Cool.
yeah, so yeah, I was able to come up with 5 decent ones, I think.
Yeah, no, are you kidding? Those were great. There's some things I didn't know about you. That's awesome.
Like for mine, you guys are mostly you guys know that I speak Chinese. 我能会说中文. I lived in China for 4 years and learned a bit down there. I shot my deer pretty close to the same age as Cal. I shot my first deer at 13 with a BLR. But what's funny that you might not know is I shot my first waterfowl at 35. A lot of people think like, oh, it's a hunting gear guy. He must shoot stuff. Most of the stuff I've shot pretty early, but not waterfowl. And there's tons of stuff that I haven't shot. I've never shot like a turkey and never shot an elk. There's lots of those.
You have shot a moose though.
Yeah. I moved 5 times in elementary school. Moved around a lot between Alberta and Saskatchewan. So I lived in Saskatchewan for a bit. I think some of you guys know that. I can sew, not well, probably not as well as you, Dustin, but I have proof that that's the game here. This one instead. See?
Hey,
Sewing.
That's a useful
Sewing
skill.
slings.
Yeah, it is.
Hey,
Absolutely it is.
Yeah.
So I have a sewing machine and I use it for sewing slings.
That's great.
Maybe some stuff that you guys didn't know. I was into golf before getting into shooting.
Same thing, right? He's a rangefinder.
Yeah. Like an under 100 kind of a golfer. Which is like, all right. Yeah. And I started reviewing golf stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Now
I reviewed golf stuff before I reviewed any hunting.
So was it the
gear or
golfing
anything
gear
like
guy?
I just had a website and just my name, and I was doing it as a way to get better at writing, at writing stuff. So I started doing golf club reviews. I'm like, that was pretty good. I wonder if I do some guns. And it's like, oh man, people really like this. Maybe I'll just do that. So started writing firearms reviews. And then something a little bit more fun. I have bidets in every room every bathroom in my house because when COVID came around and people were like, oh, there's gonna be a toilet paper shortage like there was in Australia. I'm like, what the fuck is that? That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I'm just gonna buy a shitload of bidets and put those in every bathroom of my house.
I am intrigued in a bidet, but I can't get wrapped around that yet. I think I've tried one and it's still kind of.
You got to get one of the like Japanese ones
that
like heat the water.
I've just got the cheap $40 ones from Amazon, and they're fine. You don't need to like.
It's fair. I'm upset that the house that we live in doesn't have a bidet. I also love. I don't know who made mine, but like I have 10 roommates. That is not accurate. I do not have 10 roommates.
I'm bringing this roommate to the shooting range, and he doesn't have a gun license, and this other roommate does.
Yeah, there are 4 of us with gun licenses and a couple that don't have gun licenses. So
he's not far off on the number.
Yeah, so it sounds like you have 10 roommates.
It's not 10, but yeah, it is a number. It rotates too. It does change. Like every once in a while, somebody will move out, somebody will move in, and Tony's at least seen the outside. I live in a castle. The place is huge, so we're not on top of each other. But I just thought that was hilarious. It is. It's a small mansion, but it's a mansion. I have both of you beat. I shot my first deer at 6.
Oh.
Look
And-
at your dad just like put the deer in front of you here and just pull here. Give me your finger.
was my granddad, and we did it with a then legal non-restricted AK-47.
Whoa, what?
Okay.
Yep.
That's
And now
a good
Ed-
story.
handily beat.
Yeah, and admittedly, it was definitely okay. Rifles rested on this, and like there was a lot of help there. But I was 6, and yeah, so I got
The AK triggers are not that good, so
I
it
don't-
would have been quite a bit of force to.
I don't remember. We
pull
weren't
on it.
we weren't far away from it. Like I think back now, and like it felt like a million miles of distance while you're 6. But I'm like, no. I look back on that shot now. I'm like, yeah, we were inside of like 50 yards. I'm sure. Like it wasn't.
Oh, it had to be.
Like yeah.
Iron
But it was,
sights too, though.
yeah. Oh yeah. I'm sad that I don't own that gun. That one makes me sad that it got confiscated. So
Yeah.
Piece of
Oh,
history.
that's such a disaster. I guess there's a good hunting story for me. The only two things I've hunted so far are 2 gophers. I shot them with my first gun, the Winchester SXP. Every time I shot one of them, the whole field just evacuates. So every single time I show up, I shoot one with a target load, and then I do the rest of my shooting, and then I leave. Still haven't got a deer yet. Work in progress.
You'll
But
get
you've
one.
hunted for them.
Didn't see anything. It's
That's okay.
the closest
Still
I
hunt.
got to deer is like in my vehicle, which is not a safe condition. Don't do that.
No, definitely don't hunt with your vehicle. I'm pretty sure there's some rules against that. Okay. That was a fun topic. Anybody else have anything you want to share, or should I move us on to listener feedback?
I think we can move on.
All right.
These emails are old, I think.
Yeah, I saw there was
Yeah.
one email, and it was asking about last week's video, which I looked as I was getting on, and it was unlisted. So it's listed there now. 605 is
Oh,
listed.
thank you.
Yeah.
I must have made a mistake when I put it up.
And Adriel loses a star.
It was like Mario Party.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, we're but it works like in reverse, right? Like you start with some stars and you get minus stars. Anyway, so there's no emails then. Now I know Tony traditionally does the YouTube, but I don't want him to end the show
Well, there is
prematurely
no
again.
YouTube because it was unlisted. There wasn't a
Right.
video for people to comment to.
Fair. So
I imagine you guys went over 604 last week.
That should be correct. Yes.
Yeah.
We did last episode last week, I believe so.
Yes.
All right. I'm going to deduct another star from Adriel since there are no YouTube comments because the video was not properly listed. So that's a deduction of 2 stars for Adriel and a deduction for 3 for Tony for canceling the show prematurely. Yeah, I presumably there's also probably no Facebook comments that we didn't address on the day. So I guess I move us on to sponsor links. Reminder, we have Cabela's and Brownell's links. Definitely use them if you're going to buy anything from there. And every once in a while, when we're in the mood, we will read the cool things that you bought using those links, but obviously anonymously. We would love to thank our supporters on Patreon and Player. If you'd like to support us, you can find us on these platforms. If you would like to email the show, please email the show. You can reach us at slamfireradio@gmail.com. Shout outs. Anybody got a shout out this week? I am going to shout out Kelly for forgetting to tell me that she was in Vancouver on Sunday when I could have come and seen her. I would have made that trip, but I also forgot until it was too late. -1 star.
I'll give a shout out to Dave, our match director for the shotgun IPSC style match. It was a very small match due to it being a long weekend and because Calgary was raining the whole weekend. So it was not a high attendance, but we pressed on.
As you do.
Cool.
Anybody else?
I'm going to shout out all of Team Canada at the IPSC PCC World Shoot right now.
Yeah.
It looked like they were doing some good stuff, and yeah, I hope they
quite
shoot
an
their best
impossible
and
match.
they do good.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I think
And
most
then
of
shout
them on
out
the show
for
before.
DaVinci Machine for helping them out with rifles so they could actually shoot the match.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
How embarrassing.
Yeah.
We need to borrow guns to shoot.
Yeah.
Oh, you know.
From the Americans, elbows up.
Don't get me started, Tony. We're so close
Elbows
to
up.
being
We
done.
borrow some guns.
Let's not. Let's not tonight. Adriel, no shoutouts?
I'm
Shout out?
watching hockey. No.
Oh my god. Okay, great. Join us on the Discord server. There's lots of great conversations go on there. I might even jump on one of these days. Watch us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Player. Don't forget to join the CCFR. And then we'll see you next week.
See you next
Good,
week.
everyone.
Good night.
Bye-bye.